Wednesday gave us a wild ride, and the season finale definitely delivered some shocking twists. But along with all the excitement, the show dropped a ton of information, so much that a lot of fans are still left with questions. Season 1 left a few loose ends hanging. Even with the recent teasers and trailers Netflix has been dropping for Season 2. So, did Principal Weems really die? And could Laurel Gates still be alive out there? I'm breaking it all down for you in this video. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on everything Wednesday. We've got theories, breakdowns, and all the latest news coming your way, so don't miss out. In Season 1, Wednesday originally believed the monster terrorizing Jericho was Xavier, but it turned out to be Tyler. Then, she suspected her therapist, Dr. Kinbot, was the real killer. Suspect after suspect was ruled out until she finally uncovered the truth. The murders in Jericho weren't just Tyler's doing. The real mastermind behind everything was actually Ms. Thornhill. Tyler didn't seem to have a clear motive for the killings, which made sense once we realized he was just a pawn in a much bigger game. The monster, as it turns out, is a Hyde, a creature that can shift between human and monster form, and the person controlling him from the shadows was none other than Thornhill herself. We also learned that Tyler is a Hyde because he inherited it from his mother, who was also one. Although the show says she died before the events in Jericho, there's an interesting theory floating around. What if there were actually two Hydes in town the whole time? We've already broken that theory down in a previous video. In the final reveal, we find out that Marilyn Thornhill was living under a false identity. She was actually Laurel Gates, a direct descendant of Jericho's original colonizer, Joseph Crackstone. Laurel used her deep knowledge of botany to create chemical compounds. That's how she controlled Tyler, using both those substances and his emotional vulnerability, especially the trauma tied to his family. But the big question is, why did Laurel do all this? This was a plan years in the making. Her motive? Pure revenge against Nevermore Academy, against the outcasts, and especially against the Addams family. It all goes back to her brother, Garrett Gates, who supposedly died at the hands of Morticia Addams back when she and Gomez were students at Nevermore. Here's what went down. In his youth, Garrett tried to poison the students of the academy, but during his attempt, things went sideways, and Morticia accidentally caused him to fatally injure himself. That tragic incident planted the seed for Laurel's deep-rooted grudge, not just against Morticia, but against the entire system that protected the outcasts. And because everyone believed Laurel had died as a child, she used that to her advantage. She assumed a new identity and quietly infiltrated Nevermore, biding her time until she could finally strike. Ms. Thornhill was always a little too nice, wasn't she? Throughout Season 1, her overly sweet demeanor masked something darker. As the first and only normie teacher at Nevermore Academy, she stood out in more ways than one. Behind the name Marilyn Thornhill was Laurel Gates, the last living descendant of Joseph Crackstone, the man who, centuries ago, led a brutal crusade against outcasts. Laurel's twisted plan to resurrect Crackstone and let him finish what he started. To pull it off, she needed two things: the blood of an Addams and several body parts to bring Joseph back to life. That's where the Hyde came in. Laurel used Tyler to do her dirty work, murdering and harvesting body parts from unsuspecting victims. As the bodies began to pile up, each one torn apart in ways only a creature with superhuman strength could manage, the students of Nevermore and the townspeople of Jericho had to face a terrifying truth. The monster they feared might be hiding in plain sight. Driven by her relentless curiosity and razor-sharp mind, Wednesday slowly unraveled the truth behind Tyler and the terrifying nature of the Hyde. Her investigation led her to one of the show's deeper philosophical threads. What is a Hyde, and what does it say about the darkness that exists within human nature? This layer of the Hyde mystery doesn't just crank up the tension, it also becomes a powerful lens through which the series explores themes of identity, acceptance, and the burden of power. The inspiration for the Hyde creature in Wednesday comes straight from classic Gothic literature, specifically The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. In the novel, Dr. Jekyll physically transforms into Mr. Hyde, a separate and more violent persona. The transformation is literal in the story, but it also works as a powerful metaphor for the duality of human nature and the darkness that can exist within human beings in general. In Wednesday, that concept is taken even further. The Hyde isn't just symbolic, it's a literal monster, a person who transforms into a creature triggered by intense emotion or manipulation. According to the show, Hydes are powerful but unstable, and that's why they were outlawed. What's even more disturbing is that they require a master to control them, meaning they function less like independent beings and more like biological weapons that can be unleashed by someone with the right leverage. In Tyler's case, his Hyde persona had been dormant until Laurel Gates came along. She activated it using a combination of mind games and chemical compounds. The show strongly implies that Tyler's unresolved family trauma, his mother's abandonment, and his father's emotional coldness made him more susceptible to Laurel's influence. Knowing he was a Hyde by blood, she exploited that to turn him into her weapon. One of the creepiest parts? When Tyler becomes the Hyde, it's unclear how much he actually remembers. At times, he seemed completely unaware of his actions. Other times, there's a flicker of recognition like he knows, and that uncertainty still sparks debate among fans. Was Tyler fully conscious of the murders or just an unwilling pawn? It's also revealed that Tyler's mother was a Hyde as well, confirming that this condition is hereditary. She was institutionalized at Willow Hill Asylum because of her nature, but the show leaves her fate deliberately vague. That's led to some pretty compelling theories, including the idea that there might be other Hydes still out there, and that Willow Hill is hiding way more than it lets on. Could Tyler's mother still be alive in that facility? Could there have been two Hydes active in Season 1 and no one noticed? Now, with trailers for Season 2 showing Tyler locked up inside Willow Hill, and in the latest official footage, even escaping through a window, fans are left with a major question. Will Tyler actually side with Wednesday Addams this time? As we reach the final moments of Season 1, things escalate quickly. Inside Miss Thornhill's classroom, Principal Weems pulls a dramatic move, disguising herself as Tyler using her shape-shifting ability, but Laurel's plan still partially succeeds. Once Weems reveals her true form, Laurel kills her with a syringe full of poison. During that same attack, Wednesday is wounded and taken captive, her blood needed to resurrect Joseph Crackstone. Goody Addams then appears and heals Wednesday just in time, though she's clearly weakened. From there, the conflict reaches its peak. Earlier in the woods, Enid had already transformed into a werewolf for the first time and managed to defeat Tyler in a brutal fight. Then, during the showdown at Nevermore, Bianca lands a surprise strike on Crackstone, giving Wednesday the opening she needs to stab him, finally destroying him for good. Just when it seems like it's over, Laurel reappears to threaten Wednesday, but she's taken out by Eugene, who unleashes his swarm of bees in an epic moment of payback. Still, some things were left unresolved. First off, it's never confirmed whether Laurel is truly dead. After the bee attack, the show never circles back to show what actually happened to her, so her fate remains a mystery. As for Tyler, things are just as unclear. After being defeated by Enid, he's found by his father, the sheriff, and later seen being transported in custody. But in the final shot of the season, we get a chilling glimpse of Tyler beginning to transform into the Hyde again inside the transport vehicle. Flash forward to all the teasers and trailers for Season 2 released so far, and it's confirmed Tyler was captured and taken to Willow Hill. But that transformation at the end, it raises some serious questions like how secure is Willow Hill really, and is Tyler still a threat? After everything that happened, the semester at Nevermore Academy was cut short and the students were sent home. With Principal Weems gone, the school was left without a headmaster, and that's opened the door to some pretty wild fan theories. One of the most popular, that Weems might not actually be dead. At the end of Season 1, we see Wednesday being picked up by Lurch to head back home, but something's off. Fans noticed that his expression and even the color of his eyes looked a little different. Could it have been a simple continuity error, or was it a deliberate clue? Some believe that Weems could have shapeshifted into Lurch, using her known ability to change form as a way to secretly protect Wednesday while staying in the shadows. It's just a theory, but one that's definitely gaining traction. Now, in the new teasers for Season 2, we're introduced to a major new character, Professor Barry Dort, played by none other than Steve Buscemi. He's stepping in as the new headmaster of Nevermore, and based on his lines in the trailer, he's not exactly looking to follow in Weems' footsteps. Dort says he plans to correct the mistakes made under her leadership, suggesting big changes are coming to Nevermore's future. In the final episode of Season 1, just before leaving Nevermore, Wednesday is handed a phone by Xavier, and it's on that very phone that she receives her first anonymous threat, a series of creepy photos taken of her in different places, and a direct message. Someone is watching her, and now the new Season 2 trailers may have just dropped a major clue. Among the fresh faces at Nevermore, one student stands out. In a promotional image, she's front and center, surrounded by a group of excited freshmen eager to meet Wednesday. With a notebook in hand and a subtle smile, we see Agnes DeMille, played by Evie Templeton, a character who, up until recently, existed only in fan theories, is finally stepping into the spotlight. And if you've been following this channel, you know exactly where we're going with this. Her silhouette is an exact match to the masked figure we see multiple times in the trailers. She's short, quick on her feet, and all signs point to her being the one behind that mysterious mask. In one scene, Wednesday is seen holding the mask, and etched into it are the words, "Clock's ticking." Then there's a promo image released by Netflix showing Agnes inside the clock tower, hair completely blown out like she just took a bolt of electricity to the head, which visually connects with something actor Isaac Ordonez, who plays Pugsley, recently revealed. His character will have electric-based powers linked to the new season's villain. So if Agnes is tied to electricity, whether she's controlling it or being affected by it, there may be a direct connection between the two. But it doesn't stop there. In another shot from the latest trailer, we see Uncle Fester inside the clock tower firing off electricity from his hand in the opposite direction of where Agnes was standing in the promo image. So was it Fester who zapped her? Another layered mystery to unpack. And here's one final visual clue you might have missed. Agnes has the exact same shade of red hair as Marilyn Thornhill, the alias Laurel Gates used in Season 1. That similarity? It might not be accidental. It could be a deliberate breadcrumb left by the showrunners, hinting that Agnes might be the new villain, possibly sent by the surviving members of the Gates family, or even Laurel Gates' daughter, now using the most deceptive disguise of all, a sweet, curious, seemingly harmless student. So, what do you think? Is Agnes the new stalker, or is she just another pawn in a bigger game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates, breakdowns, or wild theories about Wednesday Season 2. And if you want to check out all 37 Easter eggs and hidden clues we found in Season 1, click the video right here. We'll see you there in just a few seconds.